Alright guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. I hope everyone's okay. Shout out to all the subscribers. Welcome along anybody new. Gratitude to all. Let's talk about this fight from Saturday between Regis Prograis and JO Jo Diaz. But specifically, I want to talk about Regis Prograis' punch resistance, his ability to recover from getting punched, which he spoke about post-fight and in an interview as well.
I'm not gonna lie, if I didn't go to Vegas and lock in for 2 months straight and train like I did, I probably would have lost, because my conditioning really won the fight for me.
Where, he basically credited his conditioning. We're going to talk a little bit about that. I'll do my best to explain what I think, good conditioning and how it can help with, being able to take a punch. But also I want to talk about how you can take a punch and a couple of things Regis might have, made a mistake on for giving them the inability to take a punch, because he has talked about his balance issues.
I mean, maybe he did buzz me a little bit, but for me, my problem is my balance, bro. I always had this problem for a long time. I be having balance issues and stuff. So for me, I'm gonna go home. I mean, not right now, but I'm gonna go back, and when I get back in training camp, I'm gonna go work on the balance again.
In the past, which are definitely there. That's one of the main reasons I actually picked Devin Haney to beat him so clearly, because I was like, his footwork's not his forte, but he spends a lot of time on the heels of his feet, right? And if you look at this clip right now that I'm about to show you, where, it's in the first round, he gets buzzed quite hard. And he's in a little bit of close encounters at the moment, as you can see. And then JO Jo Diaz is about to loop in this pretty sizable uppercut, because he drops it so low. Regis doesn't see it. That's the first thing as well. If you don't see the punches, they're going to hurt a lot more, and you're going to react worse from them because you just don't see them. Your mind and your brain doesn't have time to react, and it's like a shock that comes out of nowhere. So he doesn't see that. And then, he kind of stumbles a little bit, and if you look at his back foot and his feet in general are off balance, from the shot, which is fair enough, but, obviously Regis has struggled with balance issues. And let's just look a little bit closer, because if you look now at the time of the shot, Regis' heel is on, the canvas. He doesn't have his foot planted, and if you don't have your feet planted, your base and your construct is going to be a little bit weaker, right? Your balance is going to be a bit off, and it's going to be way harder for you to take the punch, because you're not going to absorb it properly, because you don't have your foundation. And that's a big part of this channel. What I'm trying to bring through is some scientific videos about stuff like this, and some artistic stuff as well. Maybe if I have time, I'll talk about some art stuff, because he is from New Orleans, and that's a very artsy, magical, special town. One of my favorite towns in the world. But anyway, I'll try and get into that after I talk about this. But Regis obviously got buzz and wobbled.
JO Jo Diaz is a volume puncher, but if he's not
good uppercut, left hand, and that wobbled the legs of Rougarou. Regis Prograis, who's a 10-to-1 favorite, is in trouble here in the first round.
And he was saying it was more of a balance thing, but he looked like pretty hurt to me. But
I think he caught me with some big shots, but at the same time, I probably got buzzed in like the first time he caught me. After that, I wasn't buzzed no more. It's really, my thing is my feet work. Everybody know that, I get off balance a lot.
It was a bit of both, but his recovery was exceptional.
JO Jo Diaz's power, he's rocking on his feet right now.
And he's clubbing it with the left hand. 30 seconds to go here in round one.
He may look like the fresher fighter, but he's an older fighter here at 36 years old, so it's going to take a lot longer for him to get the cobwebs out, especially when he got hurt that quickly and that early. He'll serve JO Jo right to go at Prograis right now and loop those shots over the top.
Because obviously he's a very, brave guy, fighting spirit. It's one of the reasons I love, really, I've covered him for a while, to be honest. He was one of my favorite fighters coming through, because, he's a throwback, really. He's old school. And, he knows his history on the sport too, and he's just always grinded hard in the gym, and he actually put this victory down to him training so hard.
Well, this was a fight to the will won it, and the conditioning won the fight for me. And if I didn't train like I tried training for 2 months in Vegas, if I didn't train how I trained, I probably would have lost that fight, just because my conditioning was just so on point. And he hit me with some big shots, and though. I think the first one, you know, my leg probably gave it out a little bit, but my condition was so on point to where, like, I withstood it and I went.
He said if he didn't have the camp that he did have, he probably wouldn't have won down the stretch because, you know, his conditioning was good, but his conditioning was also, and many fighters have spoken about this in the past too, and Tim Bradley as well, Andre Ward, and it's definitely true, like your conditioning can help you take a punch. Now, specifically, I'm gonna just hypothesize a little bit. I don't know for 100%, but you know, strength and conditioning, especially the old school way of strength and conditioning, hitting the heavy bag, you know, doing the tires and stuff like that, doing, you know, the old school training, getting you stronger, will definitely make you more sturdy and definitely help you be able to take a punch too. But even if you work the neck muscles too, right? When you get hit with a punch, you know, a concussion is when your brain basically ricochets and, you know, it hits the outside and it bruises it. And, you know, it's deeper than that, but that's essentially what happens. So if you don't have a sturdy head and, you know, you get hit on the top of the head and it bounces around like that, that's like, you're way more susceptible to getting concussions, and you're way more susceptible to getting hurt and being off balance. Your equilibrium is going to be affected. Of course it is. I'm not saying it's not, but what I'm saying is if you do the strength and conditioning, especially like, you know, the neck muscles, you know, that neck exercise that a lot of them do. I've seen Regis do that as well, and you get yourself as strong as possible. I mean, even you look at somebody like Golovkin, he had a naturally really good chin, but he worked on those neck muscles, and Floyd Mayweather did too. And I think he alluded to when he got hit with Mosley, when he didn't get dropped, which was miraculous really, but a big part of that was his training and his conditioning, his strength and conditioning, and his, you know, the work on his neck and stuff like that, his balance, his athleticism, you know. But, you know, Regis, credit to him, he was able to stay on his feet, but it was his bad stance, which he got caught with a slight uppercut in the first place, so it's not necessarily his fault, but it was what led to his ability to not take the punch properly. But then his recovery and his powers of recovery were from his conditioning, which allowed him to bounce back.
JoJo has a chin. He can take a punch. It's hard to put down a man like JO Jo Diaz. Good shot there by Prograis.
Yeah, offensively, Prograis looks sensational.
I just found it interesting and you know, a testament to what you can get from putting a hard camp in. So many things. Obviously, get stronger physically, mentally, you know, and be able to go down the stretch and do what you need to do from a conditioning standpoint. Take punches, because he got buzzed a few times, and in fact, you know, he's actually been getting buzzed and obviously dropped a lot more lately. It's a little bit concerning, but he also called out for a big fight.
Yeah, so Emiliano Vargas and now Camille Moulton has called you out saying they want to fight you. Would you fight either of them, and if so, how would those fights go?
No, I'm not fighting. Listen, I ain't gonna lie, bro, that's small fish right now. I feel like, listen, I want to be a champion again. Either get back to the belt, or it's big money fights. That's all. So I feel like, you know, shout out to them, shout out to Cameron Martin, shout out to Emiliano Vargas, but at the same time, I feel like it's small fish. Let them fight each other. Like, I did it already. I've been to the pinnacle. I want to get there again, or big money fights, and that's not big money fights.
Which I hope he does get a big, good fight, because he's like one of the boxers, you know, that really and truly deserves to leave on a big payday, because he's been such a credit to the sport. You know, he really hasn't, I say he hasn't ducked anybody. I'm sure the Matias fight could have happened, but at the end of the day, he's been a good ambassador to the sport, you know, and he's fought a lot of the top guys in his division. He's fought them. He might have come up short, but he still fought them. He's still there, grinding hard, trying to get, you know, and he always believes in himself too, massively. You can tell that. And that's what I love about him too. When he's on, and he's like, you know, I say when he's on because he even said that his camp was, you know, really good, which lets you know that one of the others wasn't good. Maybe the Catchall camp wasn't particularly good, because I could tell he was up for it at the Devin Haney camp. You can see his face is dialed in. He just wasn't skilled enough to deal with Haney's footwork and Haney's jab and IQ and cutting the ring off, all that stuff. It's just a style thing. But, you know, he's always in the mix. and he always puts his heart out, and he always, tries his hardest. And he's a rugged dude. He reminds me a little bit, not stylistically, but he reminds me of Brian Norman Jr. a little bit, just from his demeanor. Old school, throwback, very cool guy as well. And actually, I'm making a video on Brian Norman Jr. coming up soon called The Common Man, but he was talking about how he would fight for the common man. It's really like kind of gave me goosebumps when he said that, because I was like, wow, that's awesome. Like I won't go into it too much here, but I'll leave the thumbnail up and just to let you guys know I'm working on that too. It's gonna be a pretty big project, so I'm gonna bring some music in as well. He's from Atlanta, so I'm gonna bring in an Atlanta producer called Southside from 808 Mafia. I'm gonna make a beat. I'm gonna talk about Brian Norman's style and just his demeanor and his his up-and-coming fight with Devin Haney briefly, and a bit more about some videos I've seen from his training and his footwork as well. It's going to be quite a detailed video, hopefully. But anyway, this was about Regis. I don't really have time to make the New Orleans chat because I'm trying to keep these videos down to 9 or 10 minutes. But if you haven't been to New Orleans, it's an absolutely magical city. I'm not talking about Bourbon Street either. That's not really for me. The little off the beaten tracks by Frenchman Street with all the music and stuff like that. A little further down, that's where the magic is. But anyway, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Shout out to all the subscribers. If you made it this far, big thank you. If you are new, consider subscribing. I'm a little bit all over the place. I try to talk about science in fights. I've got another video coming up about the science of a shoulder roll, because I sat down with Johan Guzman in Gleason's gym, and he is and was, well, I say he was superb at the shoulder roll, and Mayweather Senior taught him. So I wanted to make a video about that. And I've got a ton of content coming up based around art, science, and boxing. So if it sounds like something you like, smash the subscribe button. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.
The will won it, and the conditioning won the fight for me. And if I didn't train like I tried training for 2 months in Vegas, if I didn't train how I trained, I probably would have lost that fight just because my conditioning was just so on point. And he hit me with some big shots, and I think the first one, my leg probably gave it out a little bit, but my condition was so on point to where like I withstood it and I went.
Boxing.
So first of all, I just want to say this. I fight for the common man. I fight for the blue collar workers because it's hard to get to the top. Everybody you see at the top, those are literally not even 1%, the 0.0001% of fighters in the whole boxing game.
That's true.
When we first all came up, $500 fights, well, even that's a blessing. Most people gotta pay just to fight when they first turn pro. You feel me? And things that we all trying to get to the top. We all want to get there. So like now, just from the fans speaking, why are y'all gonna sit here and feed off of all of that when they talk about you? You the common man. Yeah, I'm over you. I got all these diamonds. I got all of this. They trying to little boy you as well. I want all y'all to realize that. They trying to say, you are the electrician. You are the garbage man. You the cab driver. Everything they talk about, all the Uber drivers or whatever, they talk about y'all. So while y'all sit here laughing at them, look at yourself as well. They talking about you.
The common man.
You feel me? They talking about you. So why y'all sit here trying to support that and be with that? Y'all sit here working y'all tail off every single day just to make it to a whole nother day, paycheck to paycheck, things of that nature. Some of y'all straight, you feel me? You don't care about coming up there. You got your family, you straight, you living, bills paid. You right here chilling exactly where you at. You got everything you need. You feel me? So